Morning all. Tuesday morning. Quite a lot's already gone on. I'm a bit late doing my introduction today. Currently up at a local farm spreading fert. Will's up here loading Harry in the 370 and the new Amazon fert spreader. Yeah, we've got some wheat and barley that we're spreading today. We've got Ant up at Braunton, drawing off of the nurse tank, spreading liquid. Dad's taking the Focus out to do a bit more spring drilling. We had someone ring up last week wanting 60 acres or so drilled, so he's off doing that. We've got George out in the sprayer and Andrew ploughing, so a lot on today. And yeah, hopefully I'll manage to get round to see them all. Thank you all for continuing to watch the videos. Thank you for the support, and I'll keep them coming. Cheers. So Harry's out. You can see the spreader working there. Out to 36 meters. The new spreader with its extension on, it's got a 5,000 litre capacity. Just allows for more bags to go in, to be able to keep out in the tractor for longer and not have to waste as much time coming back, loading up again. You see there the spreader turned off at the end of the row. It's got full section control. It'll only kick in again once it knows it's at a point that hasn't been spread. I know that Harry's very impressed with it. We went out to a different customer with it yesterday, which I missed for the video. But he did all his tray tests, as you saw last week in the video on that new spreader, and it was all easy to do. Marked it all out, used his measuring stick, marked out all 16 trays, and he actually didn't need to do a calibration because the fertilizer that he entered, the machine has its own kind of standard calibration for that fertilizer, and then you do a backup, and it marked out as absolutely perfect. So that's a good start for it, for sure. For well used and branded fertilizers, it seems to be set up pretty well, that it doesn't need too many changes after it's been calibrated. You can see here really good coverage on the floor. So yeah, we're very impressed with it. Just loading up on the next load. Harry's unloading and spreading because Will's on an important phone call. The new spreader is lovely, but it's still loaded the old way. You're not going to get away from that. But yeah, it is very nice to be able to throw in a few more bags and be able to carry more, so you haven't got to keep coming back to reload. So just loaded up. That's 8 bags of fert gone in, plus about 250 that was left in there, so that gives you a good idea of how much it will hold. We toyed with the idea of a 9th, but it wasn't going to happen. We've got George spraying. He's spraying a bit of Roundup this morning. These fields are similar to I've mentioned before. They're overwinter cereals that are left unharvested. So you have to wait until after the middle of February before you can spray them off and then re-drill them. We've got to leave 24-metre strips along that bottom headland, as there's a grass strip down there. So with our sprayer, in order to do that, we run around the outside of the field as tight as you can get, turn off 24 metres of the turn off 24 metres of the sprayer, and then you know you've got a 24-metre strip. So George has done that, and he's now inside the field just spraying off the rest of it with Roundup and keeping the grass strip in place. This will then be re-drilled later on this week back into a spring oat crop, which will then be left until next February and start the cycle again. So up at Braunton, it's all happening. Got Arctic tanker filling up the nurse tank. I think there's 3 Arctics running today. He's filling the nurse tank, and then Ant's got his loading arm out, filling his tanker, and he's then running to whichever field he's spreading at the moment. I've not actually spoken to him yet. So we are all systems go currently. So Ant's all filled up. He's now in the field. Got the booms coming out. That would have been hilarious. Very nearly fell over there. So the ground that Ant's spreading up here, we've got we're preparing for our next crop. We've got maize going in the ground in the next week or so. We're back now. We're going to spread some of our own ground with some fertilizer now. Yeah, we're going to spread some of our own ground with some fertilizer. Just a couple fields that we can't get digestate on. We stick some bags. As I've said before, primarily we try to use organic fertilizers. We use dung and digestate, but can't always be the case. So Harry's loading up. He'll load up a full load, take that to those two, get that spread, and then he'll be back for another one because we've got a different fertilizer to go on the same fields. It's having some MOP and then some nitrogen as well, so it'll be two full spinner loads. George is back from spraying Roundup. He's just done a chemical washout and he's straight back onto winter wheat T0s down towards Exeter. So he is he's touring the county today. He's getting on with it. There's not too many more blocks of winter wheat to go, but they're all fairly big blocks, but it makes it easier for him in terms of filling up full tank mixes and being able to crack on and cover a lot of acres in the day. The last stop of the day, Dad's been drilling some spring crop for a new customer who wanted to use the Focus drill. So he's been up today drilling 50 or 60 acres, something around there, and I think I'm just catching him as he's finishing on my way home. Fairly sure he's very nearly finished, but I'll just spin the camera around and catch it. So he's on his fourth field, and I'm not entirely sure the size of the fields. Looking at my John Deere, I can see that he's done 4 fields, but I can't see their sizes at the moment. But I'm fairly sure it is just these 4. So he's on his last run around the headland, so I've just caught him as he's finishing. He after this, currently we've only got one more bit of spring corn to put in, but we've just been told this afternoon that the seed's not arriving until next week, which means the drill can't be washed and put away yet. As you can see there, we are right up on top of a hill, so I do apologise if the wind is making this a bit unbearable to listen to. So I was wrong. There is one more field to do. Dad's just got to put a bit more seed in the drill, and he's going to head down the road and do the last field. Getting getting seed in this drill does come with its challenges, especially if you've not got a long reach telehandler, as obviously the drill needs to unfold this side and you've got to be able to reach over far enough to get it in the tank. The farmer's just got his telehandler out. He's gonna dump the seed in and then off to the last field. So we're on the last field of the day. Again, straight into stubbles, strip till drill. It's I think that's the main benefit that some of our newer customers that have come to us asking us to use the Focus drill. It's just the ease in which it does everything you want to do in one pass, but rather than, well, as opposed to some direct drills, it's the strip till drill. It goes deeper, it works the ground more, and obviously if you can save yourself having to plough and power harrow drill your spring crop, there's a massive benefit in terms of finances as well as speed of doing things. Even though this year, obviously with the weather we're having, you're not necessarily up against it in terms of getting all your jobs done, but there is still that big financial benefit in terms of not having to do multiple passes over your land to get the seed in the ground. So we'll just watch Dad make one more pass and then we'll call it a day for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support as always. I'll be back tomorrow with more. We've got plenty on tomorrow again, and obviously with less people, we're all running around. So yeah, I'll make sure to start tomorrow's video most likely up at Braunton with Andrew ploughing, as I've missed him today. And yeah, as I live up in that part of the world, it might mean that I get a slightly later start. So there's a bonus for everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.